Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. And as usual, I'm alone today again. And this video, I'm going to be talking about something really interesting. I think I say that in every video, but then yes, everything I talk about is interesting to me and it has to be interesting to you too. So I asked and you answered, and I asked people to pick between two topics for me to talk about, and this was the one everybody chose, almost everybody. So that's why I'm making this video today, and today we're going to be talking about something interesting and enlightening. It's important for people to know, and I'm going to be talking about signs, to pay attention to, signs that you should end a relationship. Signs that you should end a relationship. All right, first of all, this is like a disclaimer. This video is not in any way intended to make anybody run out of their relationship. Please do not quote me and say, oh, she said because of this I should leave you. Yes, there are signs, but I'm not saying they are the final. Once you just see that, then run away, disappear from that relationship. I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just pointing you to things that you should pay closer attention to, basically. So that is it. So that is my disclaimer. Please don't quote me and say I'm the reason why you ended your relationship. Please, no. So thank you. All right, the first thing we're going to be talking about is the person's relationship with God. I would always say that the most important relationship to have before you get into a relationship, or to be in any relationship, is a relationship with God. That is the most important relationship we should all be in if we want to if we want to succeed in our own relationships. So God must be the binding factor. God has to be the binding factor in that relationship. If you love God and you have a relationship with God, it is like definite that you want to have somebody like that. And if the person is not like that, the person does not take God seriously, the person has no regard for God, or the person does not value the things that we uphold as Christian values, then that is a reason, that is a sign that you should end that relationship. That is like the most important thing. If God is not binding that relationship, if God is not in that relationship, if God is not at the center of that relationship, it is a sign that you should end the relationship. And then another thing I'm going to be talking about is communication. If your communication has been anyhow, then it is a sign that you should probably end a relationship. The truth is, communication is very important in any relationship. I mean, starting from your relationship with your parents, your siblings, your friends, and then even your partner, your spouse. Communication is very, very, very important. If you cannot communicate effectively, it is a sign that you should end the relationship. You say something and the person interprets it in another way, you're going to have problems forever, except if it is worked on. There's this course I took when I was in university. It's called business communication, and they said that communication is effective when the message of the sender reaches the receiver and the receiver understands what the sender was saying. That is when communication is effective. So if you say something and then the person takes it in another way, it is going to be a problem, because people will never end up communicating well. And not just communicating like, oh, we talk, but emotional communication. Does the person understand your needs? Does the person understand how you feel? Can you communicate openly without any fear of judgment to the person? Has the person been able to do that? If you walk on eggshells in your relationship, it is a sign that you should end the relationship. You cannot communicate effectively. You cannot express how exactly you feel. That's like bondage. You should not be in that kind of relationship. Even if you are, it is a sign that you should end that relationship as fast as you can. Marriage is not slavery. Marriage is not bondage. Relationships are not intended to be slavery. Relationships are not bondage. So please, if you walk on eggshells, you cannot communicate, the person cannot communicate to you, you can't communicate physically, emotionally, even mentally. There are many people who thrive on intelligent conversations, and if you cannot have an important and intelligent and a serious conversation with the person, and it is something that is big for you, this is probably a sign that you should end the relationship. Do not settle. The greatest thing I'll say in this video is don't settle. And it is not, I'm not saying that oh, if the person just does something small, then it should be a reason for you to, leave the relationship. No, I'm not saying you should only look for picture perfect, but at the same time, do not settle for what you do not want. If you're not going to be happy for the rest of your life, please don't embark on the journey. Don't start. It is going to be a long one. So do not settle for what you are not ready for. Then another thing is, if trust has been broken too many times, this can come in different ways anyway. Maybe the person's past has always found a way of coming back to your own relationship, or the person has this tendency to always, go out. You don't trust the person. Maybe the person has cheated on you a number of times. The person has this character. Okay, people have told you, oh, this person is a flirt, and then you've seen it that the person even does it even before your eyes. If trust has been broken too many times, it is a sign that you should end the relationship. As they say, trust is never given, it is earned. So by the person's character and the person's behavior, you will know if you can trust the person or not. When the person has given you too many reasons to not trust him or her, it is a sign that you should end the relationship. Trust is very, very important in a relationship. Like they say, they have used this example of a paper and a glass. They say trust is like a clean sheet, and once it has been rumpled, it can never be straight again. For a glass, they say trust is like a glass. Once it is broken, once it is shattered, it can never come back together. Even if you use the best glue and you put every piece together, the cracks will still show. That is how trust is. Once it has happened once before, trust can destroy relationships once it's not there. So it is important for trust to be in that relationship. And once you don't have trust in the relationship, please leave. And if you cannot even trust the person with your emotions, you cannot trust the person to take care of you, to look out for you, it's a sign that you should end the relationship. If you don't trust the person at all, or you have reasons not to trust the person, or you have reasons to trust the person today and not trust the person tomorrow. Trust is not supposed to be conditional. When things are fine, I trust the person. When things are not fine, I don't trust the person. No, that is not how to live in a relationship. Trust should be constant. That at all times, even if we have an issue, I trust this person to be able to respect my emotions, trust my ideas, my opinions, and not do something stupid, not do something because you are angry, then just go and do something rash. So trust is very important in a relationship. Another thing that I'm going to say is abuse. This one is very, very important, and a lot of people suffer it. I have a friend who suffered it a long time ago, and it was terrible. The truth is, these people that go through abuse in their relationships, you never can tell. You never can tell. And I think it's like a siege of the devil, where even when you are being abused in your relationship, it's hard for you to come out. I know that, yes, people stigmatize you, they discriminate, talk about you, use you for examples and all of that, but you should love yourself so much to run out of that relationship if you're being abused. Now, not just physical abuse where the person is hitting you, the person is beating you, but even emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is terrible, where the person even makes you feel bad, or the person always puts you down. It is a sign that you should leave that relationship. Abuse should be a strong ground for leaving a relationship. I watched something one day. I watched a video where there was this guy who always beats his I don't know if it was his wife or his girlfriend. He always beats her all the time. If anything happens, he wants to sleep with her, she refuses, he'll beat her. He came back home, something happened, he'll beat her. But every time he beat her, she cried and she went to the other room to sleep. He sent her flowers. So every day, almost every day after the beating, she receives flowers. And as a woman, she forgives him, and life goes on like that. For years, he keeps doing the same thing. She was pregnant one time, he beat her, she lost the baby, and he sent flowers. And then there was a day, it was like a commentary, or I don't know how to explain it, but the lady was talking over the whole video, and then she said the last day she received flowers was the day she was in her grave. He beat her so much that she died, and then he brought flowers to her grave. Many people have ended up like that, receiving gifts, receiving apology notes, receiving flowers for abuse, when you should have actually left the relationship. Please live alive. Leave that relationship and live with your life. Even if, see, apart from even living a life, But abuse does something so strong that even when you've left, it haunts you years after. So once you notice it, once it happens the first time, don't give the man an excuse. Don't give the... Meanwhile, there are women that beat their husbands or their boyfriends. So don't give anybody the excuse. Don't lie for them, or don't understand for them. Don't understand with someone who abuses you. No, for no reason should the person ever raise a finger. Not even if, you know how mothers, we do this thing to our children where you just do pop. They should never even do it. Talk more of even beating you, where some people even remove belts, go and take things from the kitchen and they beat you. Please, abuse is a sign you should leave the relationship. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, please, the person. Or some people, they sleep with you without even your... Please leave the relationship. That is for that. Another thing is, if you've not noticed any significant change, as in positive change, increase in your life, it should be something you should work on, or it is a sign that you should leave the relationship. I always say that association is the greatest platform for influence. So if I'm in a relationship with someone, people should be able to see that there's some noticeable change for the better in my life. If it cannot be seen, then it is a sign that we're not influencing each other to do better. Or even if I'm influencing the person is not influencing me. We are not in a relationship to just remain stagnant. We are not in a relationship to just stay as we are. We're in a relationship to make each other better. I'll read this quickly from Hebrews 10 and verse 24. Just sharp. It says, "And let us be concerned about one another in order to promote love and good works." Another version says to spur one another to good works. There's something that association does that it either makes you worse or it makes you better. No association leaves you neutral. So you should be checking. If it's not making you better, that means it's making you worse. Do you understand what I'm saying? No association ever leaves you neutral. It has to do something. It's either taking from you or it's adding to you. So if you have not noticed any significant change, that's positive change or increase in your life, it is a sign you should end the relationship, because you need to ask yourself, is the person only taking from me, or are we just playing here? There are a lot of things to consider when you're in a relationship. There's the futuristic mindset. What am I doing concerning my future? How am I becoming better? In my field, am I becoming a better person? In my relationship with others, is this person influencing me to be better? It's just like they say, birds of the same feather flock together. So if your partner is in a certain way and you think that is not going to influence you to do something wrong, now I'm talking about the bad aspects, and you think that, oh, me, I'm just an upright person, I'm a good person, he's just doing his own thing, she's just doing her own thing, and you think you're not going to be influenced, sooner or later, before you know, you're going to be influenced. In fact, I watched a movie with my husband last night, I think, about this cop who went undercover, and she went undercover with junkie, like the undercover case she was doing was with junkies and all of that. 17 years after, her life was upside down, because being undercover now made her to become a junkie with them. So that's why I said association is the greatest platform for influence. If the person has not influenced you to be better, you should know that relationship is not going to make you better in the long run. If it has not started now, it's not going to do anything, probably years, months from now. So it is very important for that relationship to make you a better person, to allow the good in you to be expressed. So the person is encouraging you for your career, the person is encouraging you for your life itself. I always tell people that my relationship with God skyrocketed when I started dating my husband. So that's like the greatest thing that happened to me, as in my whole relationship with my husband. That's the best thing that happened to me, that my relationship with God became stronger than ever. That's something that nobody can take away from me. So that was a very good thing. That was a sign that, oh, this is a good person. I've learned a lot of things from my husband, and likewise he has learned a lot from me. So that's how it's supposed to be. You're supposed to learn from each other. You're supposed to make each other better versions of yourselves. So it is important. And then another thing I'll talk about, probably this will be the last thing, is peace. Oh, peace is very, very, very important. And guess what? It always is there if you're in the right relationship. And if it's not there and you try to make it there, you actually know, in your heart of hearts, you know if you actually have peace or you don't have peace. I was in that situation before when I broke up with my ex. There was this guy who was Mr. Potential and all of that. He seemed like the See, he seemed like the perfect person. It seemed like, oh, this was going to be a beautiful future, a colorful future. But it was as if something was restraining me. It was as if my legs were tied. It was as if I couldn't move to the next stage. And so there was a day I called my elder sister, our firstborn, and I spoke to her. I really explained how I felt and all of that. And she said to me, she said, from everything I've said, it seems I don't have peace about this guy. And I told her, I said, I think that just summarizes it. Yes, I don't have peace about him. And she said to me, she said, that is the greatest witness that a Christian can have, the peace of God. If the peace of God is not in your heart concerning that relationship, concerning that guy, then please listen to the voice of the Spirit. Listen to what God is telling you. Leave that relationship. It is a great sign. It is a very huge sign. And do not overlook it. If you keep feeling uneasy concerning that relationship, you keep feeling, you're just wondering what's wrong. Okay, but it seems like this guy is good, but it seems like everything is working out well, it seems like we're doing so well, but you don't have peace. I'm not talking about, yes, you're going to have, once in a while you might have fears of the future. You may think, how is this thing going to work out, how are we going to manage this? That's different. I'm talking about peace as in on your inside, that you don't have peace. You are not, when I say rest assured, you are not calm. I don't know how to explain it again, Seth. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Once you don't have peace, please, it is a sign that you should leave that relationship. Don't settle. Do not insist on your will over God's will. Do not insist on your will over God's will. Let God's will be your own will. Learn to submit to what God is saying. If the Holy Spirit is nudging you on your inside and you don't have peace for whatsoever reason, please listen to what God is telling you. You may not have ever heard the voice of God before, like how they portray it in movies where there's thunder, there's lightning, and you hear in your dream, Samantha, Samantha. I've never heard faith before, but then I understand that the Holy Spirit lives in me and he speaks to me. That may be God's voice. In fact, not that may be, that is God's way of communicating to you and telling you that, my dear, I love you very much. Can you leave this relationship? Just see it as a request from God, but you need to know that it is a sign to end that relationship. If you don't have peace about it, do not insist on your own will. Do not insist on your own will. It can be disastrous in the end. So please, don't insist on your own will. So these are things I'm going to be saying, or I've said I've said in this video concerning the signs that you should end your relationship. There are many other signs, but I just restricted them to this ones. Probably I'll do a second video or a second edition. I don't know. Depends on how things go. If I feel led to do another one, I'll do another one. But then you should please pay attention to these signs, heed to these signs, hearken, like the Bible will say. King James, my husband calls it church Bible. King James, hearken to these signs, and please remember that your relationship matters to God. It is very important to him. Very, very important. The Bible says that he clothes the grass of the field. How much more you? Everything about you matters to God. So don't think your relationship does not matter to God. It actually matters to him. So if God is telling you to do something or not to do something, please heed to the advice, heed to his request. He will not force you to do it, except in rare situations, some situations. But then just adhere. I don't know the English to use, but you know what I'm saying. Please, let's be careful. Like I always say, all these things we say that I say come from a place of love. So please, if you notice any sign, please leave the relationship if it cannot be worked on. If it cannot be worked on, please leave the relationship. God bless you. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I enjoyed the video. Like I said, everything I talk about is interesting to me. Well, for me, I enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed the video. So don't forget to subscribe, to like, to share to your friends. Let everybody know, hey, come and hear this thing. Or probably you know somebody who is going through abuse, or somebody who has been complaining to you that no, there's something about this relationship, I'm not at peace. Send the video to the person just so that it's a confirmation to them on what to do about their own relationship. So please don't forget to share, send your comments, and if you need to contact me personally, just go to my Instagram. I'll put it right on the screen now, or you can just message us on We The Teasers on Instagram too, and we'll answer your question. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for staying tuned. God bless you. Have a beautiful day, a beautiful week, a beautiful month, and a beautiful year. And please make the best of this season. It may seem like everything is going upside down, but to them that love God, things will always work together for their good. So trust God in this season. Keep praying, keep trusting God, and reaching out to as many people as you can. God bless you, and I love you always.